Spooky season, pumpkin spice lattes. Hey, howdy, hello, Punisher. It's just gonna give you the no nonsense thing. I know some of you have been really asking, is it any better? This is the Barnes & Noble pressing. I've done some vinyl shoots-outs comparing. Whoa, this is cool. I like the fact that we're getting a reissue of this. I have my doubts that this is gonna be any better than a 2020 variant. This is one of my favorite albums, maybe yours too, perhaps if you're watching this, and as well as 2017 Stranger in the Alps. The Stranger in the Alps vinyl shootout, we learned some things. We spent tons of money on those pressings, so I wanna say like 800 bucks. It was a good time though. I really did enjoy getting macro shots. So I'm just gonna do a really quick comparison of this, and we're gonna give it as fair a comparison as possible, because the deal is I got this ultrasonically cleaned. It's awesome, it's a Target exclusive. If I do not find conclusive evidence that this one is better though, we will be hunting down all the variants and comparing it. All right, sound good? Yeah, so appreciate you stopping by. We do stuff like this. We love to showcase beautiful people in the community doing stuff we like. I like to have fun with it. It's good times, good vibes. Slate, Gamma Knife. I think I paid $40 for this one. I didn't quite pay $20, but about the same price. I would say you can still hunt this down and get the Sea Wave Green. Ooh, corner ding, that's rough. Yeah. A little jacked up there. Is what it is. That, by the way, that's why you don't ship in these mailers. It's worth talking about. I mean, certified, frustration-free. Certified. I don't know who's doing the certifications, but they need to be revoked. This is one of the mailers of death. That's your vinyl record. Here's something that I just boxed up. This is a Whiplash mailer. It's going out tomorrow. And I would try to do the same amount of tension, even more, and this thing's solid, but I stiffened it too. So you put some cardboard squares in there, you fold it up, and you're done. I've made a whole video talking about that. It's good to go. All right, ooh. And it's good for drop protection too. All right, oh, you enjoying the Thai constellation? This girl's thriving. I do need to water her, but love the white variegation. The variegation is when you have kind of like vinyl. This is my vinyl plant. So this is like white splatter, a little split white effect. That one especially. So anyway, little babies. Plants are so cool, man. With the Barnes & Noble exclusive. Okay, you get the black paper sleeve. And there's that beautiful color. All right. Ooh, look at the glow, yeah? With the light on it. We liking that? Dang, dude. Up against the green. Which one are we going to like better? Let's find out. One thing we need to do actually is probably anti-static treat it real quick. Lots of static already. You grab the turntable mat. One thing I do a lot is wet clean it and prep it and get it ready to go. But just to overview, we've already ultrasonically cleaned this one. So for this one, I'm not feeling a clean is necessary because I'm really kind of listening for sound quality, pressing in and of itself. It could have some weird stuff. I just want to see if people are kind of exaggerating. Let's enjoy it. Let's also make sure you clean your stylus. This is not a proper cleaning either. In almost every video I go through and I wet clean it and I compare them. I'm just curious what it sounds like in comparison. Is it that much different? Because these are gonna have a lot of nuance. Let's enjoy listening to Punisher. Ooh, that sounds good so far. Ooh. Side one. I mean, I can talk about it. Man, I will say I just realized there is a pressing of Stranger in the Alps that kind of looks like this, I think. At midnight, that's not in stock. Be a cool match. I like it. It sounds good. But I say it like that because there was some weird crackles in Halloween, and Halloween is a very subtle song. You could really hear it. A little concerning, but I gotta say, like, the song after was fine, and really that was the only moment I noticed it. So, the mastering's good and punchy. I'm feeling the bass rumble. I'm in a pretty good, well-treated room, as you might know. Built my sound panels. I got diffusion in here too, and good, you know, good speakers and all the good setup. But like this feels great. So I'm happy with it, and I'm also happy that I would probably have been happy if this was the first time I'd heard it, other than Halloween. But I will say I cannot wait to hear it against my nice ultrasonically cleaned press of that one and really compare the surface noise. I think that's going to be the main thing to note between them. Also, this lyric booklet, I'm really just appreciating it. I'm just kind of taking it in, and I appreciate it so much. How do I react to that? Well, there's a reason that I just sat down and listened to it, why I don't have every pressing. Like I said, I just wanted to take it in and listen to it and see how distracting it is. Just taking it for what it is. Do they appreciate what Phoebe is saying too? This is such a beautiful album, and I love it so much. And I really just want to emphasize that as I talk about the nuances and variations now. First thing is we put it in a clear sleeve. These are crystal clear vinyl polyprotectors. It's not an outer sleeve. These are awesome. I make all kinds of videos talking about these vinyl storage solutions in Canada. We're gonna store it outside the jacket to protect it too a little later, but radioactive swamp vinyl. And yeah, the back is kind of radioactive too. Get some texture on that. My impression of this was it sounded awesome, and I never had a problem with it. I got it ultrasonically cleaned, not transparent, but I'm loving it. So pretty. Let's just kind of jump around. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna show you screen. I mean, I have 3 camera angles, but we'll have to do this in post. So what I have here is the entire recording. And I've been going back and forth, just A-Bing levels and everything that I'm noticing. And this is what's crazy, okay? It took me about 10 minutes to really hear the difference. It's that close, but there is a difference. So I no longer like the Target radioactive swamp vinyl. It has a weird tube saturation. And this is, again, I have a recording of it when I got it. But I ultrasonically cleaned it. And it's just the sound of it. It's cut too hot. I'm just telling you. And I noticed it finally listening to the vocals. They cut her vocals too hot and it sounds fried on my system. And I had to turn it up to hear it. You will not hear the difference if you listen to it at very quiet AirPods at 2 a.m. volume. I had to turn it up and then I heard it just like fry. And again, this is the same setup. I listened to it. And it's, if you hear weird stuff, you should definitely doubt yourself and go back and check your stylus. And I'm seeing stuff on my stylus. This is important. If something comes off, then you may want to run it back to make sure that what was frying was just a tracking error, okay? This is how detailed you gotta be when you're dissecting what to keep. I'm just gonna listen to it again as it is and hope that it's not fried. Also check your preamp volume. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. All right. I'm still hearing it. So you're gonna make yourself go crazy if you keep playing it back and forth, listening for the little vocal inflections. But what I can tell you is it's gonna come down to your pressing and listening very intently. I think the surface noise, I think it'd be about the same even if you ultrasonically cleaned it, even with the static in your room. Static and a little bit of a cleaning. But even with that and without that, I had a great time experiencing it. I love this beautiful color. And I do have to say, I'm gonna be keeping the blue. Matches the cool background too. I know there's a lot of people struggling to find a good clean pressing of it. It's why play grading is important. It's why cleaning it properly is important and doing your research. But there's nothing listening to that would make me seek out a $150, $200 variant on Discogs, which we can look at. I think it'd be fun to look at. I'll spend the rest of the time looking at that. So if you look back at the Punisher variants, oh, another thing I need to do is the runouts. I need to copy those into Discogs. Happy to. I'll show you what to look for if you're curious in a second, but let's just look at all the different. Punisher 2020, 72,000 people have it in some way, shape, or form. 33,000 want it. 500 copies available. This is very much available. That's what that means. And people want it, which is awesome. It's a beautiful album. Comes with that cool printed insert that I was following along with all the lyrics and artwork. Artwork really deepened it for me. Shout out to Saltine Crackers. In June of 2020, they did 7 variants. Standard black, a lot of them we don't know. Opaque red, so blue, kind of swirly silver, blue, green, red swirl. All right, let's just go into them. So pink and blue swirly. I have seen this, it's got that ripple. 140 bucks. Probably more than 140 bucks. Yeah. What are people saying about it? This one says surface noise not completely eradicated. Does the songs justice? I would agree with that with the Barnes & Noble. Just saying. Someone got the 444th copy. That's our lucky number. I was just talking about my lucky number with Devin in the Coheed and Cambria video. Someone was talking about sound quality. People are saying it sounds fine. Sound the same as the Red Swirly. Very clean. Purposely recorded many songs using lo-fi approach. That's pretty true. Can approve that one. You got $150. Standard black. I think a lot of people had issues with this. There's 100 copies of this available. It's got a little different runouts and stuff. Still gets that lyric book. What an abysmal pressing. This is from last May. Full of hiss and surface noise. Foggy residue. What happened to quality control? Side A plays like a 50-year-old very good minus record. Oh, it's so sad though. It's just sad that this is happening to such a beautiful album. I know why people are upset. I would not, I probably would have done the same thing and got rid of it. Someone says they got one that sounds absolutely amazing from February. February to May, same pressing. How do you know the difference? A bit of hissing and pops. I mean, you could read all these and see how, you know. I'm going to respond to this one. This says, horrible pressing from June a year ago. Record sounds like someone sucked the life out of the singer. I know what you mean. Her singing is muffled. There are no dynamics. The noise on the record is unbearable. Gateway mastering Bob Ludwig. What is happening? Bob Ludwig's a legendary mastering engineer. He's probably mastered most of my favorite stuff. I don't want to blame Bob Ludwig. He handed it off perfectly. We've listened to the album. We love the music, right? Even on these variants, I would say they do it justice. Now that I've heard the Swamp versus the Blue, I'm feeling the Blue. Again, if you're turning it way down, it took me a long time to even hear the difference. So I'm just saying. Just saying, but don't blame the mastering, just the pressing and quality control. So I don't know, I would skip the black one. They go for, I mean, you could literally get it for $15 or less in decent shape if you just want to own one. But and it's also hard to verify if it's an original unless you're checking the variant runouts. I don't know if they're going to do another cut down the road, but you know, you can check that. It's cool to own an original. Red Opaque Club Edition, Chris Smith. This one also has that. It's got a cut and some more information on it. Just a downright static mess. Shame, because they really love the shade of red. Horrible skipping sound. This is just sad to hear people talk about this because it's beautiful red. Love that. And it's supposed to come with a little photo. Not sure what's going on there. It's a $50 bill. It looks like at least in an okay shape. So blue with kind of swirly silver. That's what it's literally called. Kind of swirly silver. That was kind of like the radioactive. I still like that better. I don't know. That looks awesome. It's got that CM. This suffers from a problem all pressings of Punisher have. I know they had tons of intergroove distortion. Should be 2 LP. This is what I'm going to say about the intergroove distortion. I listen for that stuff, but I listen on pretty expensive stuff. Stylus, nice preamp, nice enough to really notice intergroove distortion. If it did have it on there, it was not something where I went, ooh, that's intergroove distortion. The only things that I noticed on, and we're talking about the Barnes & Noble, the only things I noticed were weird surface noise and ticks that would pop up, especially on Halloween. But I don't know if that's static or dust or it needs to be clean too, because did not have it on the radioactive green. I love the radioactive green, especially turned down just in the background. I do agree that it should be 2 LP. That's very fair. Maybe they'll do some nice treatment to it one day. That being said, it did sound okay new. After many plays, it is falling apart. Tons of noise and pops. I've seen this happen with a few other colored pressings. Bon Iver. Yeah, I have the Bon Iver self-titled 10th anniversary. I got both of the Bon Iver. They are linking arms too. Bon Iver and Phoebe Bridgers love each other very much as artists. A year earlier says 9.8 out of 10 pressing. First I was scared to get it from reading the reviews here, but I bit the bullet. Surprised how excellent the sound quality is. It comes down to grading, doesn't it? Be nice if someone graded it properly for you. Literally no surface noise on the quiet part. Bass is punchy. No sibilance at all. I didn't really notice any sibilance on mine either. It's not harsh. The little S aggressive sounds, those aren't bad on the Barnes & Noble. This person's saying, for comparison, for the sound quality of side A on my standard black is very good. Surface noise on the quiet parts is not too distracting. Side B, full of surface noise, sibilance. So it's like you get parts that are good and parts that are like, oh no, and then you don't know till later. Man, very distracting. Sibilance drags out into the last track, which is weird. The QC of her albums is definitely hit or miss, but if you somehow get a nice copy, consider yourself lucky. Someone's sound quality seems worse than Spotify. And 10 out of 10. Yeah, there's the blue swirly. All right, what else you got? Blue and green swirling. UK independent record store, Peacock Splash. There you go. That's a cool looking green. Emerald foresty with a little bit of that soft lemon lime vibe. Not sure if I got lucky, someone said, but I'm playing great. Didn't need more than a standard brush. I know the end sounds phenomenal. Kind of a situation with my blue. You kind of just have to see the pattern here and go for one, because after a couple cleans, it was fine. This next person says, really bad QC by the manufacturers. Sounds horrible. I'll probably never listen to the pressing again. If you want to look at one, it is very hit and miss. And then this one too, you know, it's in the UK, and if you import it, good luck finding it for under 100. It's cool. Red and swirly. This one's cool. Merlot Wave. I like that one. I think these are a $60 bill. Yeah. Solid $60. Same cut. Sounds great to me, someone says. The pop and fuzz suit the music. I do agree with that. Can't even remember how lo-fi the digital version was. Don't care. It sounds lovely. Probably the most visually beautiful pressing I own. Awesome. Yeah. Fair bit of crackle, surface noise. I think a lot of people are complaining. This person's saying, I assume they fixed the issues everyone's complaining about when this was first pressed, because the second pressing, this variant came out a few minutes ago. It sounds great. I don't know if that's 100% true, because the black pressings that are still out or people have hit or miss issues with. It just depends. It's cool. We're still in the OG variants. This one is a glow in the dark, right? No, it says Sea Glass Wave. It kind of looks like that glow in the dark vibe, but minty. It literally says, the hype thing of this is so cool. Almost like clear, but cooler. Is Phoebe coming up with this? Because that's hilarious. Oh yeah, these are $150, $200. That's crazy. That's a European variant, so. Mine is completely warped and unplayable. Just paid like €30 for a signed print. Where is my music? It's some people saying average pressing, fair amount of static light crackles. Average to good audio quality, mild surface noise, but advise against picking it up. Man. And then there's the guy who's saying, I don't know, it sounds amazing. I'm lucky one. It's quiet, dynamic, no clicks or pops or crackles. These people, man, are so dramatic. A couple days ago, I thought life in 2020 is pretty bad, but at least we've got records. And I went and got myself this LP, which sounds so bad, it's laughable. Bad like phone speaker bad. ICU, Chinese Satellite, and I Know the End sound like low bitrate shadows of themselves, and the whole thing is just an ordeal to sit through. Excuse me while I go download the MP3 from the coupon and proceed to off myself. People responding, just buy the CD. It's flat, clean, hasn't had any pops or clicks, and it sounds amazing, winky face. Just wondering why you gave 5 stars? People will think the vinyl sounds amazing with high ratings like that. We're rating the vinyl, not the music. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah. All right. This is one I've heard great things about too. This is still November 2020 as opposed to June 2020. Out of 450, they did Green Black Galaxy. Love this one. Really cool. And it's a $150 bill. You might be able to get one for cheaper. Very low pressing number, but rough trade exclusive. Label wrong size issues. Says very black unless you shine a light through it. That's interesting, but blown away with the sound quality. Dirty right out of the package until you clean it, and then it's awesome. Sounds even better than the Vinyl Me Please. Slight bummer is the color. That's funny. Pressing sounds beautiful. People were saying the silver was horrible, pink and blue was weird, but they like that one. So sometimes you're gonna have experiences like that where you might hunt some down and suddenly you find a good one. And you might just take what you can get and move on. This is now the start of 2021. They did another 1,000 pressed on Galaxy Red and Blue. I love this variant. And the red is very much like the red and blue background on the cover. The pictures aren't accurate, but I don't have one in person. There's not that many available. You're gonna pay close to 100, it looks like. You might be able to get some for a little cheaper, but pressed GZ. There's some clarity there. A little different runouts. Few pops and clicks. Tricky, because there's a lot of quiet bits, but the mix and master is lovely. Some warping. Oh man. Finally, a clean sounding version. Better than my black copy. Mastered well, except for the vocals, which seem to be mixed slightly lower. Yeah, because they were cut hot in a couple of different things, it looks like. Or they were pressed in a weird way. I have no idea at this point. There's so many weird stuff going on. And then in March, they did the Fun Explosion. That's what it's called. Yellow, red, blue, swirl. And it's about what you'd think. Yellow, red, and blue. And it's all swirled up. Very cool. Very fun explosion. Turntable Lab. And yeah, don't even try. They're $250. And I guarantee there's going to be some problems. Why are people are saying like, so warm and amazing. Prettiest record I own. Scalpels deserve a special place in hell. Everyone deserves a copy. Frowny face. My copy is great. One of the better pressings from GZ. That's awesome. Very pleased. Sounds incredible. Happy. Mine is great. Got mine. How does it sound? There's a warehouse error. Sounds suspicious. You may want to read into that a little more. But every single person says it's fine. I mean, if you want it, I'm so tempted to get it just to compare it. This person's saying, if you're gonna get Punisher on vinyl, don't even bother buying any other variant. I have the black, red swirly, red opaque, gold opaque, none even comparing the slightest to the quality of this pressing. Not only is it the most gorgeous record I've ever seen, but it's absolutely incredible. I know the resale value turns a lot of buyers away, but you might as well save up and grab a pressing anyway. You're wasting your time and money getting any other color. I mean, it's cool, but like, are you I'm just telling you, from what I heard in the room, I've heard some magical vinyl presses. Is there really going to be that much of a difference between where you don't even bother? I would put $200 towards speakers. That's just me. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you after literally just hearing it. Here's another gold opaque. the one that came around a similar time, Urban Outfitters. Looks kind of like my Boy Genius custard. Where he at? Oh, because I put it on the shelf. There you go. Custard yellow with some little white flecks and stuff in there. Really awesome. 2023. So that kind of goes with that. But someone says it's the best Punisher variant I have. I have 6 variants, and they all have sibilance, loud cracking, poppy noise. This one has none of that, full and warm. I'm hearing a lot of people say full and warm. I think for the first time I hear the difference in what they're saying. But I don't think you're gonna notice it unless you're cranking it. And this blue one, it's a little bit cleaner on the highest highs and the lowest lows. That's how I would describe it. Not like night and day, but obviously there are some people with intense surface noise and stuff like that. And this person, I think, is what they're about to say. This thing sounds awful. Noisiest releases I've ever heard. No other quality of the sound here positive enough to redeem it. And at its best moments, it simply sounds acceptable, and it's worse than almost being too rough to listen. I know I can just switch to the 10x Superior Apple Music Lossless. Someone somewhere should be fired for this crime against what is otherwise a really good album. I have old records I inherited from my dad's musty basement that had been played hundreds of times over the decades that sound better than this junk. Probably the most disappointing record I purchased. The gold color of this pressing is neat, though. These people, man. Pretty ugly in person, but the sound quality makes up. Oh my God, dude. I can't. You people. And, of course, the radioactive swamp. That's our buddy right here on the turntable. You're splitting hairs between it and that one as far as like surface noise and stuff, but I just prefer the sound of the blue one. It's noticeable once you really pay attention to the nuances. Not in volume, it's very subtle dynamics. Yep. Radioactive swamp. There it is. There's some of them were like green. That was what it was. Some of them were blue. I think mine ended up being more blue. But I also had a green one. And I think they sounded the same, and that's why I ended up keeping the blue, if I'm not mistaken. Also, think about the green. Be careful and maybe ask if if you care, because there are variations there between the blue and the green. Dubbed green, seafoam, and radioactive swamp on the front. So you'll see it both ways. I thought there were 2 different ones when I first got it, but you're seeing that very similar matrix run out. Much better than the black. Minimal static after a couple of wet cleans. Worth the price. There you go. Traded my regular black. This one's way better. I got away with it. I enjoyed it. I only spun it a couple times, but yeah. My copy sounds good. Surprisingly better. The normal black, once again, has light static, relatively quiet. Target needs to do a better job of shipping it because it came loosely, yeah. Static popping noises, especially in the beginning on each side. Cleaning didn't help. That's sad. Lots of static and noise. The rest of the vinyl sounds good. That's interesting. Just on the first DVD menu and Garden Song. Someone's saying hands down best sounding version. Previously it was the UK one. That was the one that people were paying $250 for. This one gets the edge. See, that's what I'm saying. You might be wasting your time unless you really want to collect that $250 shiny. Man. And someone's saying this is one of the noisiest retro records I purchased all year. Even 2 ultrasonic cleanings, each on a double cycle. Just constant static, popping, clicking, and general noise. infuriating to listen to because the music is gentle. Hard to believe it was pressed at RTI. Can't believe they'd produce this kind of low quality garbage. I don't know how much more I can take of people complaining about this particular press because I really did enjoy it. And I'm going to, in light of this, submit the deep end unspecified variant. We're going to edit the release. All right, let's go in here. All you have to do is go under barcode, matrix and runout. Matrix and runout. We're going to put in each side. We're going to take our little light, very carefully examine the edge. Looks like Doc 200. 200. This is incredibly boring. I hope you're enjoying the fun. LPA, LP-A. This is what people do. This is I'm gonna pull up the previous one too. Cut 31120. Let me go over here. It's got the CM and the 2 hearts. Yeah, cut 31120 CM. And what do we have here? Another CM. This is why vinyl shootouts are very open to interpretation. It's very cute. It'd be hard to see, but you can get a light and kind of see a couple little cute hearts and CM on there. Anyway, if you find a great pressing, keep it. There's a lot of cool stuff available. Decent prices. It's kind of name your price, name your quality. You might have somebody run through it. What else? Have fun listening to it and enjoy it because it's a beautiful album. Keep on collecting, keep on grooving your way. Appreciate you stopping by. See you down the road.